Hello everybody, welcome to this video. This time I'm going to talk about the idea that awake people have no thoughts. I'm going to break this idea apart and I'm going to talk about the relationship between thoughtlessness and awakening. The fact is that a lot of people who have gone very far in their non-dual awakening can have very busy minds. Their minds are active at the same time that some people whose minds are extremely still, their minds do not produce much thoughts, they can still remain quite asleep to their true nature. It's not a direct correlation between the number of one's thoughts and one's level of awakening. A lot of people are doing the meditation where they still their minds. This type of meditation can be great for a number of different things. And if you like this type of meditation, I suggest you keep doing it. Some of the great benefits that can arise from this meditation can be first and foremost that one's mind becomes more peaceful. One's thoughts are not as obsessive as before. It can calm one's nervous system. It can also help with creating a kind of distance between oneself and one's thoughts and emotions. It also helps one if one wants a consciousness that is more fluid, because one's commentary about the world, one's definition of everything is what keeps us focused in our conventional experience. But if we loosen this focus, our consciousness can explore other possibilities of experience. It can also be great if one is pursuing non-dual awakening, because one can sink their attention through the different layers of thoughts into one's ground of being, into one's I am presence. These are just some of the great benefits of this meditation. But if one is pursuing non-dual awakening, there are some things one should know about thoughtlessness. What's important to understand about thoughtlessness is from what point of view one is having no thoughts. One needs to ask the important question: who was without thoughts? If one feels like the person, the egoic persona, was the one who had no thoughts, one was viewing this thought-free state through the lens of the person, of the ego. It was filtered through the same conventional identity. So one hadn't really changed one's view of oneself and of reality. One felt like the thought-free state was inside of this being, of the body-mind. One missed the fact that this person is a thought as well, that when one is thought-free, one is not inside of this person, one is actually without the person. It's very important to understand who is without thought. Is there actually a person that is without thought, or is one without the person? Okay? There's also another very important question. Are you ever free of thoughts if you are at war with them? If one cannot stand their thoughts, if one cannot accept that one is having thoughts, can one actually be free? To be free, one would be free with thoughts or without thoughts. So to have this constant conflict within one's system, where one only wants to push away one's thoughts, can create a lot of tension and it can create a lot of conflict. And this is something that doesn't really make us free. Instead of fighting one's thoughts, learn to understand them. Know that a thought that is perceived do not limit you, but a thought that is believed do limit you. Because a thought that is only perceived, that is only an appearance. But a thought that is believed, you give it reality, you blow life into it. Only the thoughts that you believe define yourself or the world. When the nature of thought is understood, one is no longer defined by one's thoughts. All that is perceived is consciousness given form. And this is my broad definition of thought. So this includes all forms, however subtle. And there are different layers of thought. Usually, when we talk about thoughts, we talk about the surface layer of thoughts, the sort of commenting on our reality that we are very familiar with. Actually, there are deeper layers of thoughts. And as I see it, all of our world is thoughts. And the world is a projection of thoughts that is projected from a deeper part of ourselves. what we can say our higher dimensional aspect, but it's a thought nonetheless. When we move through the layers of thoughts, eventually we'll move into the first thought. The thought I am is when we are aware of awareness. This is the first reflection. And then we build all of our other experience on top of this basic I am. The I am is the ground of being. As the ground of all of reality, I am is equally present with or without thoughts. One can say that the I am is the screen or the canvas where all other thoughts are being projected on. We can see this in this figure here, where here is the I am, the frame or the screen. All other thoughts are being painted or projected on the screen. Now here comes the most important part. When we see the screen, when we are in conscious connection to our I am presence, the ground of being, the background, we can see that everything that is displayed on the screen is only appearances. We can see that it is a movie. Now, if we do not perceive the screen, if we're not in conscious connection to our I am presence, we believe everything to be real. We get hypnotized by the image because we cannot see that it is displayed on a screen. So we immerse ourselves in our thoughts. We immerse ourselves within the projections. So we take our thoughts to be real. Now we come into the understanding that if we are in conscious connection to our I am presence, the background or what can be likened to the screen, it doesn't matter how many thoughts we have projected on our screen because we can see that all thoughts are appearances. But if we're not in conscious connection to the background of our being, to the I am, or what we can also call the screen, we get immersed in the projections. We take them to be real and we define ourselves by them. Now, the last thing to understand is that we can perceive the background and the foreground of the screen at the same time. We don't really have to lose ourselves if we look into our thoughts. We can still have the connection with the I am. Just as when we are out walking and a friend calls us, if we answer, we don't really have to stop walking to only talk. We can do both at the same time. Here we find the true freedom where we can anchor ourselves in our I am presence, our true nature, at the same time that we can use our thoughts so we can function as individuals. Here we actually have freedom of thought because we are free to use our thoughts beneficially at the same time that we are free from our thoughts. We are free from being defined by them. We are free to be in form and informed as well as we are free from form. And that was all I had to say about this topic today. Hope you liked the video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.